What's up guys, and welcome back to Just in Time. So before I get started, how cute is this shirt? I freaking love it. I got it with my sisters from an online sale. I think it's called Tea Turtle or Turtle Tea, but I freaking love this shirt. It's like my new... I don't even like graphic tees, but it's so adorable. So on today's episode, I wanted to talk about what I would have done if I were back in my degree to prepare myself for my master's. So kind of like giving myself advice, which as you can see from this channel, I do a lot. It's a lot of like me thinking back as to what I would have done differently in my life. So the first thing, I just wanted to jump right into it. The first thing I would have done is definitely make more relationships with my lecturers. Okay, that sounded really wrong. But what I wanted to do is actually build better bonds with them. And, I really wish I would have gone out to, have a meal with them, actually talk to them, share with them, ask more advice from them, just kind of like have like a friendship with them, a better friendship with more of them as well. Because when I was still in my degree, I really didn't care a lot about classes and all of that. I was really doing my own thing, kind of like soul searching, understanding myself, trying to understand how to make more money and everything. So I put very little emphasis on my academic life. But the thing is that I knew I would have to take my master's later on because I know that that's the road I want to travel down. It's just that at the time, I was a bit short-sighted. All I could see was, okay, I need to get the degree done to get the master's done. So I would just make sure to get the degree done, which I did. And I put in like the bare minimum effort to get the degree done. And obviously, I wasn't aware that when I applied for my master's, there's so many actions. There is a lot more to it than just applying. So there was like referral letters. I needed to get referrals for those letters. And so it would be a lot better if I had more lecturers kind of like on my side. Now it sounds really like self-centered, but it's more of like, if I had built better and more genuine relationships with them, it would be a lot easier for me to ask more people just in case like some of them cannot make it. But definitely having somebody to be your referral, somebody to say good things about you, it doesn't hurt. So the second thing I would have done would be to actually go for more internships or part-time jobs related to that field. Now, this seems more important to me right now because I've already started working and I kind of put myself down on a path that I'm gonna go for the master's now. Now, the reason I didn't do this before, 3-4 years ago, was because I had a very different mindset back then. I wanted to try everything. I wanted to go out and work and try different jobs, different industries. And, I was working in different things. I was in logistics, I was in property, I was in education. I was actually scheduled to go, I'm not sure if I've ever shared this on video before, but I was actually scheduled to go to Singapore Airlines as their cabin crew. I was actually accepted, but because of COVID, they had to pull back the offers, which was a big bummer for me. But that kind of gives you guys an understanding as to what was my goal then. My goal was to try everything that I could. It wasn't to dive into my master's just yet because I knew that at the end of my life, I was going to say at the end of my life, but at the end of the day, that's what I would do with my life. So I would do that later. And what I wanted to do now was to experience all that I could experience. So in terms of job experience, I was not really focusing on going into clinics or counseling centers and all that stuff. But right now, I wish I did. So if that is you right now, you're wondering what to do for a master's, how to better prepare for it, I would definitely recommend doing that, because not only does it give you relevant job experience for you to put in your resume, but it also gets you very close quarters with people who are already practicing. So practicing clinicians and etc. Which leads me to my third point, which would be to actually speak more to practicing clinicians. Now, again, I don't think I've ever shared this on camera before, but before I entered my foundation, I was actually very confused. I was very lost after my SPM. So I was looking into medicine, psychology, and business. These were the three things I really wanted to do. And so what I did was that actually I went to people who are already in these professions and I started talking a lot to them. I actually shadowed a few doctors as well because I had narrowed it down to either psychology or medicine. So I shadowed a few doctors, and after a while I was like, okay, maybe this is not really for me. This is not what I want to do. I would like to help people with psychology instead. So that was kind of, I mean, that's a very shortened story of that, but that's basically how I got into psychology, how I made that very big decision. So even right now, as I'm going into my master's, I am trying to talk to as many people as I can. I've spoken to speech therapists, psychologists, clinical psychologists. I've spoken to counselors, guidance counselors, and psychiatrists as well. So it really, really does paint a very full and holistic picture after you've spoken to many people. And sometimes you're like, oh, I'm not sure if this person will help me or not because it seems a little bit like further away from what I want. But even then, I still feel that it's very good exposure. And again, they can give you insight, like different kinds of, like I spoke to a clinical social worker. So like in Malaysia, I never would have thought to enter social work at all. But he gave me a very fresh, very different perspective because he graduated from the States. So, you know, and he helped me understand what's the climate of psychology like in the United States versus Malaysia. So there's always something that we can learn and we can take away from our conversations and interactions with other people. So I would definitely also say, go out and talk more to all of these people, whoever, like whatever field you want to go into, talk to the professionals that you can get your hands on. And I really, really do think that they will provide a much, much better insight into what to do. So yeah, that's all for this episode. It's pretty short and sweet. It's been something I've been trying to film for quite a long time. I actually did all the other shorter versions on Instagram and everything, but I just been lazy to do the YouTube one. So thank you guys for watching. If you have anything at all that you'd like to ask me or you want my opinion on, definitely put it in the comment, DM me. Yeah, I think those are the few ways that you can get to me. But yeah, I would love to make content based on your suggestions and questions. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. It's the shirt.